on this. There we go. Hey, how are y'all doing? How you doing, Ray? Hope y'all are doing well. We're here. Hope you're having a wonderful day, mate. I was over on Rideshare Radio's live stream and didn't realize how late it was getting. So I'm only well now it says I'm 2 minutes late, which is my norm. So here I am. I did a little spark today, one order, but I did get the uh, trail camera review going, or second trail camera review going, and dash cam. I never checked my mic to see. Nobody complained over there on Rideshare's channel, so I guess the audio sounds okay. How you doing, Wendy? Hope y'all are doing well. And whoa, I went full screen. Let's exit full screen. I don't want to see myself that bad. There we go. Hey, giggity, how are you, sir? I hope you're taking care of yourself. I had to do some lab work week before last. They told me I needed to eat a heart healthy diet. Okay, I guess that just means taco Costa every other day instead of every day. Well, I'll tell you what, it was 108 degrees today out in the country where I was putting up the trail camera at. And the grass, my car has the alarms when the radar or whatever it is. Man, it wouldn't shut up going down that little. Actually, it's all grown up. The grass was over the top of the hood, and I was kind of worried about starting a fire, but luckily I didn't start a fire. That was a good thing. Oh, I never turned the lights on back there. Oh well, I got to 100. Yeah, it was 108 out there, and that's usually when you get outside of town, away from the hot asphalt and the pavement and everything, the temperature is a little lower, but it wasn't. 108 is what it was showing out there in Archer County, Texas. But yeah, set a trail camera up. Wound up the first trail camera, I got a big old raccoon on there, and from about the front shoulders back of a deer. I guess the angle it came in at the camera. So maybe this camera, I moved it, so maybe it'll be a little better. How you doing, Mary? So I'm sure glad y'all are here and hope y'all are making some money. My one order, uh, man, I tell you what, it was a shopping order. I think it was like $44. And granted, it was 35 items. Let's see. Man, I hate this new setting. Wait. Trips 44.28. So yeah, it wasn't that many miles, like 2 miles, but it was like 35 items, and they had a bunch of doubles. But all in all, if I could have just done two of those, I'd have been happy. And if I could have done three of them, I would have been ecstatic. But I was doing reviews. I guess I could take these headphones off now. Oh, that's much cooler, and I don't hear myself quite as bad. Hey, on the TV. I went out for a few hours, made 55, 60 bucks. Yeah, I was out, but made $44, went and got the oil change, and that was $55. So it wasn't a very profitable day, but I had to get the oil change. I've been putting it off. So I somebody in the chat, oh, Ellen in the chat mentioned, I don't know if y'all watch Gig Mom. She's down in Florida. Apparently, something happened to her daughter, and I don't know what the story is with it, but apparently it was something pretty tragic. So we need to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. I don't know what's going on. I will watch the video when I get through going live here, but she couldn't be very old because Gig Mom's not that old. Probably late 30s, early 40s, I guess. I'm not real sure. Hey, Lisa, how are you? I wasn't real sure I was going to go live tonight. And when I got that shopping order, and Steve had emailed or texted me, asked me if I could be on their panel tonight. And then I thought, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really want to be out there in the heat, but I was trying to make some money. Um, it kind of gave me a reason to just do that one shopping order and come on to the house. So came home and kicked my little fan on. Oh, y'all can't see it. I moved it. I love that little fan. It's quiet too. I got it going on. It looks like on 5, and y'all can't hear it at all. I can't even hear it. But anyway, they was talking about Spark. There was a lady. Actually, it was in Frisco, Texas, which is part of the Metroplex, Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. Got hit by her car. Got hit by a Spark driver, and the Spark driver did not have no, or it had a license, but guess where it was from? Which actually surprised me. Um, Illegal Spark account, didn't own the car, no insurance. He is a Venezuelan um, driver's license. Most of them, from the documentaries I have watched, most everybody comes across the border throws their IDs away at the border, all their money and all their IDs. But for some reason, this one still had a Venezuelan driver's license, and he was operating under a different account. And apparently, that account got deactivated. But the lady, he entered, he introduced, talked to the man, and the girl's boyfriend and her shook their hands, told him what happened. Apparently, he could speak a little bit of English. I'm not real sure, but supposedly they deactivated the account, and she was at Walmart seeing him doing Spark. I guess picking up an order. So apparently he got issued a new ID. And that's what they do. They have the lady that I watched. What was Cammy something? She's like the Venezuelan mafia lady that gets everybody the illegal IDs and social security cards and all that. If I remember right, that video, it mentioned, or it said that she could have a deactivated account to have that person a new ID and on a new Spark app within about 30 minutes to an hour. So that person wasn't no big deal. Did over $4,000 worth of damage to the lady's car. Didn't look that bad, but it cost a lot to fix things nowadays. We were shocked when we got the DoorDash earlier. Almost didn't know what to do. I haven't been able to get on DoorDash in a while. The kiddos start school next year. Oh, is it that time already? We got 2 new high schools, which the citizens of Wichita Falls voted that down, but the city of Wichita Falls said, "Oh, sorry, we already started building it." And we have 2 new high schools. Took them a couple of years to build them, but they're opening this school year, and it's going to be interesting to see because they should have left those old schools open and open 2 more schools. Even when my kids went there, nobody ate lunch because they didn't have time because it was too crowded. And now they're going to put all of the students in Wichita Falls. I think they're leaving 2 of the high schools open, but there was 4 high schools. No, they're combining. Anyway, they're putting like 2 schools into one. I'm just curious as how many law enforcements are going to have working there. I can't believe it's school time already. It's ridiculous. It ain't going to get worse. Wow, congrats. I got 3 DoorDash today. Y'all got me wondering. Let's just see. Um, signing in. There for a while it wouldn't let me at all. Oh wow. It actually says mm, it actually says dash now. I have not been able to I haven't seen it say dash now in a long time. Let's see. Oh, well, it would let me go till midnight. Okay, live's over. I'm going to that. No, I'm playing. I ain't getting back out there. Get out. Oh, return to raise your acceptance rate. My acceptance rating, I guess, is at 18%. I guess I actually, how do you get, it's been so long since I've been on here. I guess I accidentally started the dash. Let's end that dash. I ain't getting back out there. Not to do that. 3 Uber Eats. I can't even do Uber Eats anymore. I got deactivated. I'm a bad boy. Uh, nah, I didn't. Let's see. Well, y'all know. I think we talked about it the last live. I just haven't been doing Spark much. I did a little bit a couple of days ago, and then I did that one today. Um, but just doing these reviews is keeping me more than busy. I cut it off at 9. When let's see, what was it? A couple of years ago, there was a guy doing DoorDash on a motorcycle, and he was talking about. Well, actually, it was longer than that because it was back during the pandemic because they had the insides closed, and he was having to sit on that motorcycle in the drive-throughs, and he said that was miserable. Uh, And what was it? McDonald's started letting us come in to pick up the orders, but the lobbies wasn't open to the public, but the drivers could go in. I did get to go fishing, such as it was. I had to do a review on a little action camera tied onto the end of a fishing line and throw it in the water. They asked me earlier, is that the only footage you got? And I tell you what, I was kind of impressed that it even picked up any fish. And actually, it was a black bass, a sand bass, and then 2 or 3 other fish that I couldn't really because the water. I had to drive. Well, we had to go about. I think it's not 60 miles, probably 40 miles, 40 or 50 miles to get to some clear water, clear enough water to video anything. But I was kind of surprised because I threw 2 or 3 different lures and didn't get a hit one. But threw that camera out there and it picked some up. It would have probably been better if there was been lights because you get down so deep, even in clearer water, it gets darker. But this was at a lake called Lake Nocona. That was a lot of fish. And within probably 30 minutes, one of them came right up, and you could see the eyeballs, and then this body just turned. I guess it came up to investigate what that was, and then it swam away. Even it, if we could get some fronts coming through, it would, hit it what a few hours or a day before that front hits, and but man, I tell you what, it was hot out there. I wound up because there's a nice little pier. It actually says no fishing, but nobody. I mean, it's next to the boat ramp. I mean, you would if being respectful, you would reel in and get out of their way if you needed to. But it's not that busy of a lake. But there's no shade there at all. And I walked around the cove on the backside. There's a cove, and it's covered in trees. But it was so hot, miserable. How you doing, Tim? I said, hip, hop, hibbity, hop, hop. Uh-huh. I had to make a new plan, Stan. I had to slip out the back, Jack. That's what I wrote on there. I hated the bell like that on Steve's, but I didn't realize it was, I think it was like 8:58, 8:59. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Tomorrow. Well, this is August 1st, isn't it? Oh, my son's birthday's tomorrow. I need to figure out, I was going to send him money. I need to figure out if he's got PayPal or a Cash App or something. But anyway, probably next month it should start cooling off a little bit. And I'm considering going down to the coast this year. When I got because my wallet got stolen, so my fish license was in my wallet, but the fish license was about to expire anyway. But apparently they have changed the rules on Texas fishing license. So now, if you buy the 12-month one, not the one from August 31st to September 1st, but the 12-month calendar one, you have to get the saltwater on there too, and it's $48. So I have a saltwater license too. So I'm ready to go down to Padre or somewhere. Maybe throw a line out down there and see if I can catch a shark. Probably, I don't know, Galveston to Corpus, down that way. What I guess, what is that, Port Aransas? That would be closest to you. But I don't even know about Galveston. The only thing I've ever done at Galveston is went on 2 cruises out of Galveston, and I know there's that long jetty that goes out, and I think there's like a submarine out there for the tourist. But oh yeah, it's a long drive for me. It's 8 hours, I think, to well, let's just say I think it's 8 hours to Corpus from here. Let's see. My location to Corpus Christi, Texas. 7 hours and 40 minutes is what this is showing. Oh, that's going through Austin. Why would I go through Austin? I've never went to San Antonio that way. Oh, okay, that's an alternative. I wouldn't go through Austin, but yeah. Well, Galveston is just south of you, isn't it? I was thinking Port Arthur or something like that, but no, I guess Galveston would be closer. But I don't know how Galveston would be on fishing. And at Padre, you could go out there on the island and fish there. Oh yeah, having a beach house there. That was cool. I thought. Okay, now I'm confused. I thought you were already here, Ray. Next one, yeah, you were up there. Well, you must have got out and got to work. You may have left and I missed it. I was rattling. Anyway, howdy. My only thing about saltwater fishing is I would have to have some kind of paper with me or something to identify the fish because I know the catfish and saltwater catfish. I know to just try to be very careful with, but I don't know nothing really about saltwater fishing. I mean, I know I know some bait, the fishing part I do, but the identifying those kind of fish, there's all kinds of fish there. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Google the fish. Yeah. I'd have to print something out. And I'm sure they got some kind of guide or, some kind of paper that identifies the fish. But anyway, I'm a freshwater fisherman. But they make you get that saltwater endorsement. A long time ago, when I moved down to Mississippi, well, we used to go down to Mississippi. My aunt and uncle lived down there, and then I moved down there for a summer. But off the Mississippi coast, you didn't have to have a fishing license for that. In Texas, they made you have a Texas Gulf fishing license, saltwater fishing license. But, oh well, it is what it is. But hopefully, I'll be able to do that to give you any tags. No, it was just a regular fit. Well, no, because I think the red drum comes on your regular fishing license anyway. No, I just got the regular fishing license. If there's something on there, I didn't really look at it that close. I just got out to the car and I'm like, man, $48. Why was it so high? And I looked it up online and I thought it said 30 and then went back in there a couple of days later and they said that you have to, if you do the 12-month one, you have to get the saltwater endorsement. Oh, okay. So if I get a chance to go down there, I won't have to worry about getting a fishing license. I've already got it. Yeah, here in another month and a half. Well, about a month and a half, should start cooling off a little bit. Be doing some fishing here. I hope. I think if it keeps going, I'll probably have a little bit more time to go if I just take the time. I just it's hard to take the time, even though you could take the time because I got so much to do, and if I don't get it done, and I've just got that much more to do later. That it's what I've talked. What was it last week or a week before when I was talking about it? Um, and all other than the freedom of the gig apps and even like doing Amazon stuff like that, is great. But working a regular job, a regular W-2 job, and you have more free time. You go put in your 8-10 hours a day, and you're done. That's it. And doing these gig apps and stuff like that, your day don't end. I mean, I guess you could make it end. Depends on how much you're making, but you've been enjoying the scooting adventure. I've got to get back out there, but man, I tell you what, 105 degrees. It's hot. I'm going to continue where I dropped off, and I'm learning a little more. I broke my kickstand off, but I'm learning a little more about these scooters, and I'm going to do another review. But I've been looking on Google trying to find other places, within Texas and Oklahoma with paved uh, walks or walking trails. Just not that many of them, and it really surprises me. Wichita Falls is like 22 miles of paved walking trails. Dallas, Garland, Mesquite, and places like that, their trails are like a mile, mile and a half. And I'm like, I can't believe that Wichita Falls has the longest one out of all of them that I have found so far. There may be some out there, and I surely there would be. I just can't see Wichita Falls being that having something big like that, and other places not. But it is a really pretty ride, and I haven't videoed on the Scooting Adventures yet, the prettiest part of it. So of course y'all live in some pretty areas too. So to me, it's for Wichita Falls, it's really pretty. Learn any tricks on that scooter? Well, I can completely stop for just a few seconds and not fall over or have to get off. You know, I'm getting a little better. Um, I've learned that it doesn't take bumps very well. Mine doesn't. I looked at some of them, I have one in my. I put it in my shopping cart on Amazon. That I wasn't getting it. I was just wanting to save it so I could look at it later. But I moved it to the safe for later. $1,400, and that's not I've seen them on there for $3,000. We got the Lone Star Trail. How long a trail is that? I didn't run across that one. There was some. I think there was one around Tyler, Texas. Um, I'm gonna put that on my phone right now so I'll remember that. You said Lone Star Trail. Is that going to actually be listed in for Houston, or is it just a suburb or something of that? Oh yeah, I guess it is. San Jacinto County Lone Star Hiking Trail. Oh wow, there's a few of them. There's one in Montgomery, Texas, and Cold Spring, Texas, San Jacinto County. Can you be more specific? About 100 miles. Oh, wow, really? Is it paved? Because there's a section of ours, and it's actually the old trail. Oh, in Huntsville? Okay. It's the old trail, but I went down it, but a lot, sometimes when they tear some of the roads out to retop them and stuff, they grind that asphalt, and that's what this is made out of. My scooter won't hardly go across that. It's just not made for that. Oh, it's not paved. Oh, see, that's my problem. I found some other trails, but with the scooter that I have right now, I pretty much have to have it paved. It's only got 10-inch tires on it, and they're not um they're the solid tires, so it rides pretty rough. Um, Huntsville. I looked there's an app called All Trails. I had it a long time ago. It used to be free. Now they charge for it. But some of those scooters, you could actually they're like they got the dual motors on them, and they're got the big fat tires on them. I think 12 or 13-inch tires, but they're the fat tires, and they got a lot better shocks. My scooter is good for the price. For the price it is, but it's it was cheap enough for me, as y'all know. I can't complain. The bad thing is, it's got me hooked, and now I'm really wanting a lot nicer one. I want it to go faster. The distance on mine, I haven't ran it out, and that's one of the things that I've got to do on one of my reviews when I do the when I review it. I need to just start and just go till it runs dead. That way, I can get a real world uh, exam or a test to see how far it'll go. It's supposed to go like 22 miles, but I don't know. Oh, it takes 6 or 7 days. What is that the big trail? I think it goes all the way across the United States because actually there was a movie on it a while back. Who was it? Because I watched it. The Appalachian Trails or something. I don't remember, but it went a long ways. How you doing, Steve? Oh, not a problem. I hated to run out on you like that. Oh yeah, but that was a dark story, and sadly, it's what we was talking about. Um, what it's going to take for Spark to do something, and sadly, it's going to take something really dark. And I have a feeling something happened, or they wouldn't have reiterated on not going into people's houses. The Appalachian Trail, okay, yeah, that is a big trail. I don't know. There's parts of it I could do, but I don't know if I could do all of it anymore. Well, I'm pretty sure. maybe if I took long enough to do it, but you're thinking about getting an e-bike. The e-bike, I looked at one at the Bass Pro Shop, $5,000, but it had the big fat tires on it, and it was a regular mountain bike. Uh, I don't know. I like the scooter. I mean, I would take the e-bike too, but the scooter's kind of fun. Oh, hello, Ellen. Oh, I saw, hi, Ellen. I'm like, wait, where'd you go? Hmm. Yeah, the scooters I think would be better, since Ellen here. Like if you lived like in Houston, or if you live like in Las Vegas, or a bigger city, they I could justify spending $1,500 to $2,000 on a scooter, because that would be so much fat. Well, probably parts of Las Vegas, no, and parts of Houston, no. But if you was in the main part, like on the Strip, if you worked over there and you lived a couple of miles away, a scooter would be the way to go. It would be so much faster than a car, and I don't know, but I can't. I just can't justify spending $1,500 to $2,000 on a electric scooter. But man, I'd sure like to have one. If there's so many people doing these reviews, and I mean those folks are smart on that, and they're really good. So I don't look for any of those Go Tracks and those big brands Segway to ever look my way, because I'm a nobody. The only advantage I have would be my age, and I think if I could get them to think about targeting not old people but older people, because there's most of these reviewers. There's a couple that are probably around my age, but the majority of them are in 30s, early 40s. I'm knocking 60, and I think if I could just get one of them to look my way, it doesn't even have to be the top of the line one, because some of the one that I'm looking at on Amazon, it's like 14.79, something like that, and it's a Chinese brand. But you know what? I don't care. I'll take it. Your brother has an e-bike, but no battery. A new battery is like, yeah, I have heard the batteries are high. I watched a video last night. The guys actually built an electric scooter, and they caught one battery on fire. The battery was $800, and they caught it on fire. And the guy had like 780,000 subscribers. And so either he don't make much on his YouTube, or he's got a lot of bills, because the more you make, the more you spend, the more you get in debt. And some people, I probably would have 20 years ago, but now I wouldn't. But I'm older and hopefully a little wiser, but it depends on what it is. I shouldn't even be looking at those expensive electric scooters. Anyway, they ordered another. They had to wait a couple of months to finish it. They had went and bought like the kids, a regular moped, with a little body kit on, like a little Cushman looking one. If y'all know what that is. Um, but they took the body off of it. They extended the frame, and what else? They extended the frame, took the body off of it. They did something else, and it came out to 7 horsepower. I think the test before I think it's the end of it. They got it up to 55 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. But I think that battery was $900 or something. They had custom. Oh, they had to lift. That's what they had. They had to lift the back end of the scooter, because they had to mount the battery underneath the plate, and they didn't have the ground clearance. But anyway, Oh, you have an e-trike? I saw those on Amazon. Those are pretty cool too. Yep, 55 on a scooter. Oh, they've got them that retail. Well, I mean, consumers can buy them to run 72 miles an hour, and they have them that run over 100. But I don't know if those are for consumer. But you could go buy one right now online. It goes 72 miles an hour. That would be insane. Because I tell you what, mine will go like not well. The max speed was 20.1, but most always it'll run about 19.4. And on mine, that's you're really moving. If it were rode better and it was smoother, that would be better. But those that goes fast, they have a what they call that? It looks like a little shock. It's just like a stabilizer bar on the front wheel, and it's to stiffen up the steering so it doesn't shake. I don't know if y'all have ever rode rollerblades or not, but if you're going downhill on rollerblades, you're you start doing that like that the faster you go. And I guess scooters, when you get up that fast, start doing that, and it helps that front end. How you doing, Alex? Nah, a helmet wouldn't do much. This little boy that I saw a while back when I was out riding my scooter, he had a full face helmet on. I imagine his parents make him wear that, but not a bad idea. But if you're going to be going over 40 miles an hour, I, really, if you're going over 5 miles an hour, you should have a helmet. Let's just throw that little thing out there. I won't wear one, but you should wear one. Uh, but yeah, man, I tell you what, those electric scooters are probably, and I would probably feel the same way about an electric bike if I got an opportunity to ride one. Um, used to drag each other. What we used to do is tie a rope onto just the the wagon. What do they call them? Little red wagons. And we would pull each other around. We tied around the seat post of the bicycle and on the handle of the wagon and pull each other around. Oh, on a skateboard. Oh, that I never did do that. That would have been fun. I think Nash. Nash skateboard was my first skateboard I ever had. Now there was where my grandparents worked. The people that they worked for it was an entertaining house. It was on the backside of a private lake, but my grandmother would go back there and clean that house up before all the rich oil people would come in. And I guess their kid had a skateboard. It was probably about this wide, about that long, had metal wheels on it. I barely survived my childhood. We was into bicycles. I never, but where I mainly grew up at from eighth grade and older, there was really nowhere to ride skateboards. It was not out in the country, but it was outside of the city, outside of town. So there wasn't no sidewalks or anything. So everything was bicycles. But tell you what, even when I lived in town, we would sit. My dad had drove for a milk company, and uh, the milk crates. We'd set milk crates up on plywood, and sometimes we'd stack them up too high and make ramps. A couple of times, we never did it, but I saw the ramps that they put on regular trash cans. That was a little too high up for me, anyway. 'Cause I never had one of those bicycles with the shocks, with the mono. Some of them had the mono shock and all that. Oh Lord, we're going way back. Something to share. My first board was a Nash. I don't remember. I just remember it being a Nash. I don't remember exactly what the name of it was. It was green and graphics had a big dragon. Cool. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember now. I think it came. Actually, I think mine came from maybe it was Dillard's. Uh, I know my mom may be on here watching it, and she's the one that bought it for me. But it was like 70% off. They was going out of business on that, not going to be carrying like stuff like that anymore. It was Dillard's or J.C. Penney's. Could have been Sears, but I think it was Dillard's. But anyway, it was 70% off. That's why I got it. But had the polyurethane wheels on it. Wasn't the big wide ones, but it was cool. Oh, I used to skate on the coast on the caster board, ripstick. It was the brand. Yeah. At our hunting cabin in northern Michigan, we used to take our snowboards in the ditches of the side of the dirt roads with a rope and tied on the pickup. My cousin would go faster and faster. People here, when we would get some snow, people would tie ropes on the back of the cars and stuff and get a trash can lids. When we were ready, we'd pull out of the ditch and let go of the rope. Got about 10 feet. Oh, that would be fun. Got yours from Kmart? Yeah, I was just talking about Kmart yesterday. I think we read Kmart there was 3 stores open and they closed in 2022 nationwide. There was only 3 stores left. I think they pretty much went out of business in 2020, but those 3 hung on until 2022, if I remember right. Yeah, these kids nowadays, they missing so much. And it sounds like y'all did even more than I did. And a lot of my time though, I spent out at my grandparents, and I was out in the country. I get my 22, and I'd hit the river, and I would just not that I was going hunting. I was just exploring. I'd go up and down that river and be gone all day. I was probably 10 years old. And no way. I can't imagine my grandson going disappearing for a day with a 22. It was a different time though. You know, Actually, the river made a horseshoe, so you could walk up about quarter of a mile, and then you could walk back, but you could hear the horn because it was quieter back then. You could hear a horn on a calm day, and that meant it was time to come eat. Wasn't really time to come home. It was just time to come home and eat. When you'd hear that horn honking, you could hear it for a couple of miles. Kids today just make TikToks. Yeah. Yeah. Can't blame some of them kids now because some of them kids are making some money on those TikToks. I tell you what, I was surprised. We spent every weekend for don't even know how many years. Yeah. I never heard of that town. Must be really town. Get in. Your days would be end up in emergency room. That meant I don't think I never really I tore a lot of pants up, a lot of scabs, a lot of bruises, but I don't remember I never broke anything. But it was fun. I watched YouTube and talking about one of the scooters. One of the guys, I want to say Sacramento. Oh man, where he rides, it's really cool. It's some good scenery too, fellas, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, there was a guy riding a bicycle on the crossbars. He's riding it backwards, and he said, "Look at that guy! He's riding that bicycle. That's riding that bicycle backwards. That's sketchy." And I'm like, "Man, we used to ride our bicycles all over the place, riding them backwards." And I guess that's for maybe people out there. That was a different thing, but man, there's a bunch of us that did that. I had one friend; he could ride a wheelie all over the neighborhood. Never, I mean, he just had the perfect balance, and he'd just ride everywhere on one wheel. That was cool. Yeah, the one thing that I really want to do, and if I I really want to do it as I want to go snowmobiling. I may be it may not be as fun and thrilling as what I think it would be, but I'd really like to do that before I get too old to do it. I broke my right ankle coming off a handrail when I was 19. That ended a 7-year skateboarding career. My son broke his kneecap, and that pretty much ended his skateboarding. He can still skateboard, but he used to do the half pipes and all that, and over the skate park, and he broke his kneecap, and that was still bothers him today, and that's been several years ago. Yeah, I could ride a wheelie for a long ways, but man, Mark, I couldn't do it all over the place. He could just ride everywhere. Oh, I broke my foot. Used to bust my head open quite a bit. Probably explains a lot. I hear you. Yeah. And there ain't no telling how many pants my mama bought me, and I'd tear the knee out in them. Back then, you get, of course, well, I don't know if it is now, but several years ago, they become expensive and popular to have the patch sewed inside of tore pants. Man, I had some expensive pants apparently back in the 70s because the good majority of my jeans had patches ironed in them, sewed in them. And stuff. I think they was ironed. Most of them was ironed in. You have unlimited use of snowmobiles. Go over the Continental Divide, come out in winter anytime. You better watch it, Steve. I'll be knocking on your door. Say, hey, let's go. I really want to do that. I really do. And I've never, I mean, I've been on jet skis or wet bikes, and and that's really cool. I really like that. But on a snowmobile, you're not limited. I guess you're limited by fences if property and everything. And I guess 100-foot drops that kind of puts a stop to the trail. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I'd love to. I'm not uh, overly thrilled, or I'm not really wanting to snow ski. I know a lot of people like snow skiing. I don't. I mean, I'd try it, but it ain't that big a deal. But I definitely would like to do snowmobiling. I learned how to fly on my bike. I never was good at landing, though. That's what happens when you avoid a car and hit a curb. I learned most things, plus breaking things makes you not screw up again. Yeah, I don't know though. When we crash and burn, let's do it again. Do it again until you get it right. Oh yeah, we built bike ramps all the time. I never jumped in the trash can, so I had friends that set them up. But my plywood piece was only like 4 foot long, 5 foot long, so it made it steep, and it wasn't like this. It was more like, but Evil Knievel was the man back then, and everybody wanted to be Evil Knievel. So I think everybody here is old enough to know who Evil Knievel is. I used to have the Evil Knievel motorcycle and the little wind up thing, and then you could push a little button and it would take off. Anyway, that thing would be worth some money now. We jumped each other. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We would do that. Um, was it my son and his friend? He got into bicycles a little bit, but he was mostly skateboards. But I used to would get the camera and try to aim the camera up, and they would jump. I got a few good shots, but you remember Evil Knievel? Oh, that was your. Oh, you had that toy too. That was probably really popular. I had one. And I wished I had some of my toys now. I could probably really retire. Kinda it's funny, how do y'all well, I guess people ask me sometimes if I'm retired, and, and everybody's or a lot of people, not us, but a lot of people think unless you're working a W-2 job, you don't have a job. And if you don't have a job, you must be retired. And I've had a few people ask me, "Are you retired?" I'm like, "No, not really. I mean, I do delivery and I do Amazon." I said, "I guess you could say I was semi-retired. I don't know." Well, yeah, that's what I kind of say. I kind of semi-retired, I guess. I just don't work at W-2 anymore. Yeah, the evil toy too. Yeah, yeah. I was wondering, my 85-year-old dad will never retire, and that's good. And, and that's one of the things that I have thought about doing these reviews. And there's a guy that he lives, well, actually, he moved. He lived down in South Texas somewhere, but he has a YouTube channel and he's a full time RVer, but he did own a little tiny house, wherever it was. Can't remember now. But anyway, he was an older man. And I was thinking, and he's started doing a lot of reviews on some of the different accessories for RVs and stuff like that. And that's what when I started doing this Amazon stuff, that's what I kind of was thinking about. Thought, as long as you've got your mind, you can still do reviews no matter how old you are. I mean, the stuff that you review may change. You may not be reviewing like electric scooters or whatever, but I should be able to continue working as long as I got a mind. And it might be more interesting when I don't have a mind. I don't know. But that's what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking is you could go up to 99. Depends on how many days the Lord gives you. You could go up to your last days if you wanted to. But I, I will, at 65, I will officially retire. But after 65, well, it may be 67 now. I'm not going to do it at 62 because if you draw Social Security at 62, from my understanding is they cap you on how much you can make. And I don't want to be capped. I don't want them saying that I can't make X amount of dollars. So I'm going to wait till the end of that. But if you just collecting $800, $1,200 a month, whatever Social Security pays, plus doing, because eventually you might not be able to do delivery apps because you might not should be driving. Just saying. But I can sit on my butt and do a review on a mouse at 90 years old. I might be doing this right here, something like that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. If I keep doing search and rescue, I very well might do that the rest of my life. Oh, the search and rescue. That search and rescue is cool. I am absolutely retired. Well, if I do go snowmobiling, I probably need to go with you, Steve, since you would probably keep me safe. And say, no, 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 you don't want to go over that little hill because, you know, a long time ago. Here I've jumped to something else, but it's kind of the same thing. A long time ago, I rode. My dad drove a cattle truck, and we went up uh, Colorado and driving through the mountains. Um, this was back before they had Jake brakes and all that, or what do they call that now? Call them Jake brakes back then. When your brakes automatic when you let off the accelerator. Anyway, they didn't have those then, or not on the cattle trucks that Dad drove anyway. But it would be just straight drop offs, and the mountain patrol. I don't know what they're officially called, but they would they'd pull up beside you and do that. That meant your brakes were smoking. So you're fixing to lose your brakes. So we'd have to pull over, and that guy would, he took, me and my sister over to the edge, and it was like straight off. And you could see trucks down there. Yeah, I'm sure it still happens, but I just don't want to be riding a snowmobile and start to go over a hill, and that's more than anticipated on the other side of that hill. Dropping 10 or 15 foot on snow might just be a big jolt, but I don't want to drop 50 to 100 foot or more. And I know the cliffs up there. Even the Monarch, that's pretty good cliffs there. Hmm. Never stop stopping. I don't expect to see any Social Security the way things are going. Well, yeah, well, we'll see when we get the right people in office. Maybe I'll become a snap. Brandon, I'll totally keep us safe, but also we find amazing pockets to play in. So much fun. I really want to do it. You would ride a snowmobile though, wouldn't you, Ellen? That would be. I mean, that's not too crazy. I mean, you know, what's you ride a go kart? It's just I would think. Man, you live in one of the dangerous places of the city, or one of the most dangerous cities, and you're worried you'd ride a snowmobile. We'll all show up at Steve's house with our snow gloves and our toboggans, say, "Let's go." Be a bunch of little kids at his door. Yeah, well, even up here, it's very. When I was a kid, we used people talk about climate. Was it climate heating or whatever, the climate change and all that? It's true, and I haven't lived that long, but I've lived long enough that when I was little, we would have not a lot of snow, but 6 inches to a foot of snow, two two times, sometimes three times a year, and it was pretty regular every winter. We would get snow, and over the years it got less and less, and now um, we don't. I think it. I don't even remember if it snowed this past winter. If it did, it stuck around a day, maybe a couple inches. If it did that, I don't really remember. One year we did have a good snow, and it shut down Wichita Falls. It was pretty deep. It was up over the cars. That was a Christmas too. Definitely had a white Christmas. But used to it snowed a lot here, but now it really doesn't. And what's crazy is we're north, but the Dallas Fort Worth area in the winter, a lot of times we'll get ice and we won't. I guess it's just the way it comes out of, the way Steve sends that weather down here out of Colorado. Comes through Amarillo, but it keeps going southeast and it misses Wichita Falls because we're North Texas and they're a little bit further south. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, we don't get much air. In the deep powder, it's a workout keeping the tip of the snowmobile. But the snowmobile, do you have to? I've never been on one. Do you have to balance like on a motorcycle or something? I mean, a motorcycle really not much balance to it. Just hit the throttle and go. But do they tip easy? I know, I guess like on a jet ski or something, you're doing that. You're getting the back end down, but a snowmobile, I guess it's going to be running on tracks, so it's going to just stay level. Hmm. I guess there'd be an art to riding it. I have to have some lessons before Steve will put me on I don't know how they work, put me on a little 25cc for kids. So you ride that first. Oh man, I really want to, Steve. I'm not playing it. And it's not. When you was talking about that event you was going to do, I looked at it. It's really not that far. I mean, it's a drive, but once you get on the other side of Amarillo, it's a lot better a drive between here and Amarillo. Is long and nothing out there. Once you get over to Amarillo and towards Dalhart, then it starts getting better. My collar's flipping up. We used to make mudslides on the creek banks closest to sledding area. Yeah, well, we had a big hill, uh, um, and we would take cardboard boxes and stuff and slide on it when it would get a little bit of snow. But yeah, when I was a kid, they sold regular sleds at the stores, and over the years, you don't find them here. There's just not enough market. Trying to drive in the snow packed on icy roads is challenging enough. Ice is horrible. Snow doesn't bother me. I didn't even get a chance. I don't know how this Nissan will do. I tell you what, that Infinity that I had, and of course my Yukon, both of those was all-wheel drive, and I had no problem on the snow. Ice, you could take off easy, but just remember it don't matter four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive or whatever. Stopping is totally different. You can take off, but you got to remember to stop. And if I can ever afford an Infinity, I'd probably get another one. But whatever I get next, I want it all-wheel drive. I think Cadillac makes all-wheel drive, but not like we get anything around here. But when we do, it's nice to have all-wheel drive. How you doing, Drone Days? Yeah, don't go where the Huskies come. I'll never trust Miss Wobble on a motorcycle again. Well, it was a moped, really, but she insists it was her first motorcycle accident. Crazy lady. Yeah, you got to be careful on motorcycles, and scooters, or anything like that. We totally go where the Huskies go in the Summit Country, and you can take the dog sled teams out on a huge land plots, and they teach you how to run the team. Those dogs are amazing. I've watched them, on TV up in Alaska and stuff like that. But that might be fun too. But I don't know. Snowmobile just I don't know. I really want to do that. And if you wanted to be romantic, you could do the like on the pictures, the Christmas card pictures with the sleigh and the horse and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But you'd have to be out in the country to enjoy something like that. And even like in St. Louis, I noticed they have the wagons and the horses and stuff. And I don't know, it would just be totally different if you're out in the country where it's quiet and away from the hustle and bustle and people yelling and talking. Oh, it's expensive. I would think it was because, well, to take care of horses is really expensive. So I kind of get. I don't know a lot about horses, but I know a little bit, and it's not cheap. Their upkeep's expensive, so I can understand why that would be expensive. So we just. Oh, really? Snow is fun for about one day. I never minded the snow. It's just when it's just ice that I don't really care for. That was one of the only accidents that I ever had that was my that I mean, yeah, it was my fault because there wasn't nobody involved but me. But man, I had a Mustang GT, and I don't know if y'all ever had a Mustang, but there is no weight in the rear end. And I left work and I pulled out on the road outside of town. I worked out at the landfill, and I goosed it, and it didn't slide. But when I got out on the highway, there was patchy ice, that black ice, and man, I hit that, and that car just went sideways. And there was nothing I could do, and it started going in the other lane. And I was trying to correct it to get it coming back, but there was cars coming at me, so I had to just turn into the turn. I just turned the wheels to the ditch. I thought, I don't want to have no head on and hurt somebody. The ice is it's not no fun. Snow I can handle. Knock on wood. Now watch me have a wreck. Now I've gotten in wrecks, but they T-boned and ran out in front of. And, Steve, you had mentioned something on y'all's first part of the roundtable about dash cams, and I highly recommend everybody having a dash cam. They can be on your side or they can be not on your side, but either way, if it's on your side, turn in the footage. If it's not on your side, then you didn't have a dash cam. You just don't say nothing. But yeah, everybody. I don't know nothing about the snow, the cloud thing you were talking about. Um, I don't know anything about that, but I do know that you should have a dash cam. Well, and like I said, make sure that you have an SD card in it and make sure that it works. That would be a definite thing. I'll have to go back and watch because that kind of interested me, but I was trying to do a couple other things at the same time, and I didn't catch all of what you're saying. But I'm going to go watch the replay on the very first of that and see what you're talking about. Because I am an advocate for uh, dash cams. My sister had a pretty bad wreck about not quite a month ago, driving a Ford Expedition, the big ones, and she's lucky she was in that. It's the only thing that's the only reason why she's still alive. Unfortunately, I had tried to talk her into taking a dash cam. Said, I'll give it to you. I'll hook it up for you. I don't want that thing. And now um, there's some questions on liabilities of that accident. So it's y'all push dash cams. We really should. You can even the cheap ones. You know you don't. It's better if you can read license plates and things like that. That's great. But at least have a $39 Walmart dash cam. Something, something that will video the car pulling out in front of you, or are you pulling out in front of the car? Whatever the case is, something. I highly recommend them. That's enough of that. But anyway, I've had I've had a car and a roof before. Not recommended position. Ooh, I did that many years ago back home. From brakes don't work too well. Yeah, I never had a dash cam until I started doing reviews, and actually, no, I didn't. I had a dash cam before that because when I started doing DoorDash, I got a dash cam. But oh, I thought you. Well, I guess you didn't get that fixed. That's not how parallel park. Well, when I had my wreck, that's what I did. I parallel parked between a guardrail and a uh, fence, barbed wire fence. My front end of that Mustang clipped off the top of the post on the guardrail and sideways. Opened the car door, and there's about a 6-foot drop into a concrete drain. So luckily, I stopped when I did, or I would have been upside down. Didn't total the Mustang, and it came. Man, I had to get the whole insurance paid for it, and they couldn't match. It was the Ford blue color. It was a '89 Mustang. That blue was all the same on all those. But when I got it repainted, he couldn't match that paint exactly. So he got the insurance to pay for painting the whole car, and he put it in a darker. It was still blue, but it was a darker blue. Man, that was a pretty car. Anyway, yeah, y'all get a dash cam if you don't have one. It can help you or it can hurt you. That's what I was telling my sister. You know, I told my aunt, she's an insurance agent now, and I told her they insurance companies really ought to push giving discounts to people that have dash cams. That I don't understand why they don't, because that would save insurance companies a lot of money, or it could cost them a lot of money. But it eliminates the question of the who did what, because you got a dash cam, there's no questioning it. I mean, it's you see what happens, especially, and I really recommend getting one with GPS, not because of the coordinates, but because of the miles an hour. But any dash cam is better than no dash cam. So good thing about a dash cam is if you see a hot woman, you can look a second time or a third. Not that I would know anything about that, Anyway, display ride, best dash cam on the market, cloud upload. Huh. Okay. I'm on StreamYard. I'm like, why can't I click that? It keeps hiding it. Uh, text me that link, Steve, if you don't mind. I'd like to look at that. I think I've reviewed, oh man, I don't 10, 15, maybe 20 dash cams. I don't know. I've got one right now I'm reviewing, and actually it seems like a really good one. I don't think I'll swap mine out. After I get through shutting up tonight and rambling, I've got to go do a drive about and get some night footage. But it seems like it's a really nice one. It's a 3-channel. I've had display ride for 3 years. Awesome. You know, there was one guy that did a review on one a while back, and he's a professional photographer, so he's looking at the sensor in them, and that's what it's a really good picture. But he was talking about it has the Sony Stratus Starvis sensor in it, and he said if the dash cams don't have those, then they're not worth having. But that's not actually true, because the dash cams I've got, or the ones I've done, most of them have a decent picture. I mean, you're not going to zoom in on a license plate from 150 yards and be able to read it. But, what's important is who ran the red light. Okay, thanks. I wonder, because most of these Gary ought to check into that, because they have an app. Most all these dash cams, even the cheap ones, have an app, and you can watch the video. You can watch it on your phone, and you can download the video to it, and you can save it and share it and everything else. I wonder why you couldn't have an app for any dash cam that has the app, but have that app connect to it and automatically upload it. It wouldn't be that hard to do. Somebody that knew how to code, Gary probably could do it. It really wouldn't be that hard to do. I don't think. Not if you knew what you were doing. I'd have a problem doing it, but somebody smarter could probably do it. Good night, Miss Wendy. Oh, was that what you sent? I thought you were sending me the link. I saw it pop up. It don't look like you're and I guess you're taking a break? Man, that looks like so much fun. Oh, man, talking about some pictures, I would definitely wanna take my camera. Of course, I need my ND filter on there because that could be pretty bright with all the snow, especially on a sunny day. Man, that's pretty. Anyway, display on the hmm, I need to open that up. Let's see, where we at? We're on, where am I? Who am I? Where am I? Let's see, where's the chat? There's the chat. Now I can see the link. I couldn't see it on StreamYard, and I talked well, this is totally off right here, but I had talked to a guy at StreamYard about, having different camera angles, running 2 cameras, and then being able to stream to the other platforms. And at first he said, "Yeah," and I sent him a screenshot where it says you can't, and he said, "Oh, yeah, you have to have the paid version." And as far as the different camera angles, he said he said, "You have to have the paid version, but there is a hack to that. All you gotta do is open a separate tab, and if you've got 2 cameras, you use your regular camera on one tab, and then, like, your other camera on your other tab and load that camera, and that gives you 2 camera angles, but you'd have to switch, where you go to switch under settings, but you just have to be quick with the fingers, but I think there's some, shortcuts with the F keys. Anyway, you can bring the GoPro that overheats and capture the you can bring a GoPro that overheats and I wonder that would be a good test actually, to see if it would overheat when it's, 30, 25, 30 degrees, whatever. I gotta keep shaving my legs before bed. Alright. Have a good one, Mr. Giggity, and we'll catch you later. No, you don't have to have a second email to do that, if you're talking about the sharing the you can go into your same, live stream, your own live stream, just open it under a different tab on your browser. I tried it, it worked. The only thing I don't like is that you can either have one or the other, or you can have the middle size. I was wanting to make the little picture and then the big picture, and then be able to click them, but you can't do that. Last on the settings on the, right on StreamYard where it's got one picture of the 2, but the last 2 options on your screen sharing, you can't do that. You can't do a full screen with the other one. It won't let you do that, and that's probably where the paid version comes in. But you can stream you can and I couldn't stream to 2 different YouTubes, but you can stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Oh, okay. I had thought about trying to do that, but I couldn't. Actually, I think I did. Well, I think I signed in with either way, Ask Grandpa or Grandpa's Random Reviews, one or the other, and I couldn't get it to do what I'm talking about there either, but it said but if you in a different tab, that's uh, oh, wow. display right. It was flashing like I got a message. I'm like, "Huh?" Yes, yeah, well, yeah, I could see you especially needed one if you was doing rideshare, Steve. But I haven't tried to if I could figure out how to do live streams on my phone, I wouldn't mind trying to do an Amazon live stream. So then people get people buying stuff. I wonder that'd be kinda cool. I don't know. Brandon, you can show pictures to make people want to go snowmobiling. Yeah. Hey, I could, you know, and I'm not joking either. Um, I can do it. I could literally and legitimately take it off of my taxes as miles because all I got to do a review while I'm up there, and it's taxable. Anything special on the menu? Absolutely nothing. How you doing, pork chop? You're on a little late. I guess I'm no, we just been rambling about everything. Steve's got me itching wanting to go snowmobile. Well, I wanted to go snowmobile anyway, but then he said that he could hook us up, and we just have to put some gas on the snowmobiling, but yeah, I have done lives from the phone before, but I've done Facebook Live when I had a outdoor concert one time, but I've never done it like a YouTube Live or a Amazon Live, any of that. Anyway, yeah, I could, I've got, uh, this one I have set up. I was gonna put it on my scooter down there by the wheel, 'cause I can take this and put that, clamp it onto the wheel and get some, like, 6 inches above the ground footage, then I can have a mount on my scooter that I can put this GoPro on. I had this one out today when I was out doing that review on Nashville, so I can get down on the ground and get high. That didn't sound good, did it? You know what I mean. Brandon, I'll hire you to bring me a box for $5 right off my I think I could write off the miles anyway if I did a review. I mean, that would even be better, and then I would have 2 things, like, say, I've got the mileage for this and the mileage for that, and I'm just reducing it down to 1 trip, but, "Oh, well, you could have done this, but yeah," I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna have to really I have one of those, and I actually had a chance to review one the other day, and I turned them down. I've got a Chesty, um, I mean, you could put the phone on it too, but it was from a brand that I've done new lines in, oh, making arms of my chair hooked under my desk. Uh, Same brand. Oh, same top. It was a brand same top, but they had a chesty they wanted me to do. I didn't wanna do it. I guess I didn't need it, and those probably wouldn't sell real good around here. I mean, they might, but I do have a chesty already. GoPro, G chest harness, and some of that. You're gonna have to use a few adapters to make it right to do it. I think Is there somewhere that you could put this on the snowmobile? Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's a like cattle guard or, like a bar on the front end of a snowmobile. I bet there would be 'cause, you can pull them and tow them, right? There'd be something. Anyway. And if I if I lost, I can bring both GoPros, and if I lost this one, I mean, I'd hate to lose it, but I wouldn't lose that one. That's the newer one. I haven't tried the GoPro 12. I'm not real sure I may switch if I get another action camera, but there's it yes, it goes on snowmobile. Yeah, I figured there'd be something to clamp it onto, 'cause that'll clamp down tight. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be I'm probably gonna be looking up snowmobile videos now. There are a couple of dash bars here and goes down. Yeah, actually, this thing I used to use a lot, it's got the GoPro, the action camera, because all the action cameras use the GoPro setup. I think those originals got a really stiff clamp in there, but, I used to put this at my sunroof and have my GoPro and driving through the state park on the Dirty Shoes Adventures. That's what I use that for mostly. And then got 2 of these. Anyway, I got more crap than I'll ever use. Anyway, I guess I ought to get out of here and, finish. Oh, I gotta go for a ride. Anybody need anything from the store? Take a ride and get some night video for my dash cam. I'm gonna try to talk my sister into probably taking this. Maybe she will this time. 'Cause I think well, if the video comes out, if it the camera itself seems really good, and if video comes out as good as what the camera feels like, and it's got a thicker cord that runs in the back, a lot of them have a thinner line. This is thicker. This is probably it may be better than the one I'm using, but I'm not gonna unwire mine and switch all that up. Oh, the GoPro drone, yeah, no, uh, that follow me. Some of the I think the GoPro quit making theirs. I don't know, they might not have. Mr. Drone Days could probably tell us if he's still here. I still want a DPI, the DJ, uh, man, I forgot what it's called, but they're about $1,500. So, someday, maybe. That would be a good Dirty Shoes adventure video. Snowmobile adventures. Hey, never know. Mhm. Okay, alright. I will check that, Ray. Anyhow, y'all, I gotta get out of here and go for a ride and get that video, and then I gotta finish up that video because 'cause they've been asking me twice now on it. I need to produce instead of just talking about FPP, but DJI has the drones like that. Yeah, January, February, best snow months to come out there. Okay. Well, for real, I'm being serious. We need to talk about it, and maybe I can save up a couple dollars, take a ride on the reading up to the Great Divide. Anyway, we'll figure something out. Anyway, y'all have a great night and better tomorrow and all that good stuff. Yeah, what is that? Keep smiling. Keep smiling. You can actually see it this time. Get the camera sitting a little different. Anyway, you keep smiling, dashing, prince, and do whatever it is you wanna do. Just keep doing something because you're gonna grow old, and I don't wanna grow old. What was that old commercial? I don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up. I wanna be an 80-year-old idiot. Not an idiot, but anyway, y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all later. Thanks for coming. Y'all be careful out there. Bye.